Hello, I'm If Barinelli, your Abundant Life Coach, and today I want to talk about rituals. So what comes to your mind when you hear that word? I know for a lot of people that immediately goes into something to do with religion, and you're not far off. For me, when I think of rituals, I think of routines. I think of specific things that we do to connect to our highest self so that we can show up as our best selves, right? And whether that is a religious ritual or whether there are other rituals that you do, my question is, do you have rituals that you embrace, that you put into practice? And have you noticed whether that makes a difference in how you show up and in the kind of results that you get? So I've always loved to read biographies. I love to read biographies of musicians and of course, historical figures and athletes. And with the athletes in particular, and writers, artistic people, you always, if you really pay attention, you start to see what their rituals look like. I remember long ago reading about Stephen King, and he said, at 8 o'clock every morning you're going to find me in the exact same spot with his favorite, at that point, typewriter. I'm sure he's upgraded since then. But, he says, I may never use what I write in that session, but I'm going to write anyway. I'm a writer, and so I show up and I write. He has certain rituals. Heard John Maxwell talk along the same lines. Heard Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. All of these people will talk to you about like their game day rituals, what they do and in what order they do it. Djokovic, the tennis player, has some like intense rituals. Everything from how he eats to how he trains and he warms up for a match and all of that. Nadal, you watch him and there are these motions he goes through before he even serves a ball, right? And so I love to look at what people's rituals are and how that shapes their lives. So recently I was reading about Michael Phelps. Some of you may know him. I believe he is still the most decorated Olympian of all time. I believe something like 18 gold medals, maybe more, and then other silver and bronze. So just in gold medals, 18. And he was sharing how, in this article, how he had a 5-year time period where he trained every day for 5 years, never missing a day. Birthdays, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, all of those days. As a matter of fact, he trained twice on his birthdays. But there's specific rituals he goes through, and there's a specific time, like at a certain time you will find him doing a certain thing. And I was thinking, success leaves clues. So what are your routines? When you wake up in the morning, what do? I hear things like, well, my alarm clock goes off. By the way, I don't like to hear that term alarm clock. I like Zig Ziglar's term, opportunity clock, right? Because alarm, you just like, ugh. But anyway, they'll say my alarm clock goes off and then I hit the snooze button 2 or 3 times. And then by the 3rd time, now I'm late, I'm rushing, I'm, running to put things on and get the kids together and this and that and barely out the door and I might grab something to eat or I'm grabbing it on the way and I'm like, wow, how does that work out for you? How does it work out for you when you start your day that way? Would you consider setting up a different kind of routine to the start of your day? What if instead of hitting that snooze button until you're late, what if you just make a decision when you're setting your opportunity clock to wake up when it first goes off? To wake up just excited about the day and what you have going for you that day, that you actually get to wake up, right? And what if you take a moment to center yourself and maybe to show gratitude for your life, for your breath, for your limbs that are still working, right? What if you take a moment to run through how you want your day to work out and to visualize it all working out great? What if you take a couple seconds to say a few affirmations and to just build up your inner spirit for whatever the day may throw at you? And what if you even went a little further and you decided to really center your mind and you picked up something motivational that you could read or inspirational, something that built you up again, that you could read for 10, 15 minutes? And what if you actually ate a breakfast that nourished you and you weren't rushing and you weren't yelling? And then you made your way to your vehicle or however it is you get out and about. How would your day look? How do you think it would flow if you had that kind of a routine as opposed to the one that you just shared? And you know what? I get a couple of responses to that. Some people who start thinking really deeply about it, and they're like, yeah, that would be great. I think I can do that. I think I can start to make some changes. And I get that other group that's like, that's not gonna happen. Like, you don't understand my house. You don't understand my life. You don't understand. You know what? I understand full well that nothing changes until you change. And I understand very deeply that rituals, the right kind of routines in your life, can make all the difference in how you show up and how you're able to respond and not just react to life. So, isn't it time to consider some rituals that actually support you and where you want to go in your life?